Hello friends, it has been a long time. It has been a month. So how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for an update video. It hasn't been, I haven't been uploading lately because, not because I haven't been getting stuff done. I've been getting a ton done. I'm gonna show you in just here in a second. But I was filming every little step along the way, and it just was starting to be like tedious as far as not feeling like I was getting much progress done. I was watching them back and I was like, God, do I really want to share a video of that? Just seemed kind of ridiculous for every little step, which maybe some of you guys enjoy that, but for my peace of mind and feeling like I'm getting something done and getting somewhere, I like bigger progress than just, okay, today we did this one thing. So I took a couple weeks off. I did film it all, not gonna share it. I'm just gonna update you guys now with everything that we've gotten done. And it's quite a bit. So I'll try to pick up where we last left off. I think in the last video I was talking about doing a seat mount and maybe, what else? Maybe a gas tank or something along those lines. Getting axles. But yeah, without further ado, here is where we are at this current point in time. It is the end of October. This video will probably go out in the next day or two, so you guys will be all caught up after this video. So here we go. So that's right. First of all, it's sitting on its own wheels and tires. We got the Albas mounted and they look killer. I mean, 35s and Albas can't go wrong. 14-inch wheel. It is sitting under its own weight, which is gonna be heavy if I'm being honest. So first things first, you'll notice, other than it's sitting on the ground, is there's a seat in it. We went with a PRP XRC seat. I'll show you the mount here in a second. That is on a Longhorn Fab bracket. Second thing is we've got the radiator and intercooler mounted. I did a video showing how I made that. Pretty simple. These are the factory tabs here, factory fan. That bolts to this plate. The brackets bolt to. That's welded to another plate that comes to this one here. So this can be removable by itself. The fan can come off by itself. The intercooler can come off by itself. Or you can take the whole assembly off of these four here. It's probably not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, but it will be strong. We are not going to be running a reservoir, so I wanted that cap to be the highest point so the system can bleed. So yeah, I mean, I took a day trying to figure that out. Like I said, it was just adding some pieces together, really. I mean, but it's all removable by itself, which I like. So there's a lot of bolts there. Well, not really, 4 per side, but it should be plenty strong. I did start on wiring. So the engine is completely wired. We've got pretty much every sensor plugged in. Also, charge tubes are on it. You can see that. It's pretty obvious. But we've gotten most everything as far as electrical on the engine figured out. I did have to get, I think it was TMR, coil on plug to regular coil pack style, like a Turbo S. This is a Turbo S harness. So they sell TPR or TMR. I think it's TPR. They sell a coil on plug to coil pack conversion, which essentially just plugs into your coil on plug. It has its own little harness here that is plugged into where the coil pack would have plugged in. And then you have a ground wire that is right here. You just need to ground to something. So that'll work there. RPM blow-off valve, RPM charge tubes. We also got the Airbox mounted. Just took some flat stock, ran it up to this bar. It clearances. This is a Pro XP J tube and my old Turbo S King of the Hammers patch job regular charge tube, boost tube. So we've got that knocked out. We've got the seat mounted. I'll show you that real quick. So like I said, it's got a Longhorn Fab seat mount, so it actually locks in place right here with the slide deal. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm not trying to make you sick, but you slide that over. I'll pull the seat out real quick. These are the stock Razor rails. I think PRP's bolt spread is different than all the other seats, so I kind of had to weld some tabs onto this stock slider bracket, and then this Longhorn Fab bracket just bolts directly to the stock sliders. So that seat will be fixed, but if I do want to move it, it's just loosening these four and then sliding it where I'd like it. I'll end up scooting it back some. But yeah, that turned out pretty all right. The seat mount itself is stock Razor bar, so it's got the tab there. I took this bracket, notched it for the foot pegs so it doesn't have much rock, kind of supported it. Through these tabs here, so this can unbolt. This is tube that we welded a nut inside of. So you'd knock out these four bolts there, and you can pull this bracket off. It's got enough clearance for the yoke. We ended up ditching that rear half of that drive shaft loop hoop we made in the last video. But that's the C bracket. I was struggling with trying to keep it as low as possible for the roof line, but also having it up off that drive shaft where if something happened, it wasn't blowing through the bottom of the seat or something silly. So, but I think there's enough material here in this section that if that U-joint comes apart, gonna be all right. Not too worried about it. So moving on, next, we did end up putting the quick release in. It's sitting over here. It's a Hess racing steering wheel. So that's ready, that works. I have a stock Turbo S Sparco wheel that the bolts just didn't fit through, and I didn't feel like drilling up a $300 drive shaft or steering wheel. So that's that. I'm gonna throw the seat back in just so I can keep going with this video here. So hang on. Just like that, seat's in, steering wheel's in. So you can see here, I mean, there's probably only, I don't know, at least 15 inches, right? Now that's probably, I don't know, 7-8 inches of clearance there. So when I got my helmet on, I probably have 3-4 inches. Now, for somebody taller, less fortunate. Sorry, you're not gonna be able to drive it. Gonna have to redesign the old head bar there, but for me, it'll work just fine. So I've test fit it with the helmet on, fits great. Moving on up front here, we've got the brake pedal and gas pedal in. The brake pedal, I did end up having to cut it, angle it a little different. And as far as the brake booster goes, I had to extend that rod. I was fighting the placement of the master, being that I wanted it to be in line with that, and this bar was in the way, and there just wasn't a ton of room, and that was the best thing I came up with. It'll suck if that thing fails on a trip, not having the option to just put another one in without swapping that rod or boogering together this section of rod on another one to make it work. But for right now, I mean, that's the best I could come up with. I could have had it like reversed to where it pushed and then pulled and then it was mounted up here or something along those lines. But that was the best option I came up with. I mean, and it's got plenty of travel. So once it has fluid in it, it'll work great. But that is that for the brake. Like I said, we've got most of this wiring figured out, most of these plugs. We're finding a home for them real quick. So we've got brake lines in the front. Front's 100% assembled. These are not the axles I will be running. They're just in there to keep the machine on the ground and keep that wheel bearing together. I didn't want to put the new axles in yet and have sparks or hot embers or whatever fall in the boots. Just keep them nice. I'm going to wait until it gets blown apart to be fully welded, and then we'll put in all the fresh stuff as far as axles and whatnot go. The gas pedal ended up making this bracket here. Took 2 pieces of flat stock, made it this plate. It bolts. That is actually a stock brake or gas pedal and brake bracket that this gas pedal is bolted to. So I cut it in half. Factory, they're one piece, the bracket is. I just cut it down the middle. And yeah, I mean, tied it into that bar there, made it work. It's high enough off the floor. It's got a nice heel to toe. Same with the brake. And they're similar as far as distance away from that firewall that's gonna be there, because there'll be a panel here that wraps around to this bar, fills that void. So gas pedal are in since last time, brake pedal are in. You can see I tied the brake pedal mount into the EPS mount, and then just took some 1-inch flat stock, ran it to that plate there. And you can see the black portion here is that stock bracket again, like I was just talking about. So that is it for the gas and brake pedal. Moving on here. We have a center console bar in. This is gonna be where all my gauges, and I'm thinking the ride command unit, which is right here. So I'm thinking it's gonna go kind of like this-ish on top of this bar. It'll be built in. I was thinking about putting it down here, just leg room. I want to have plenty of that. Also, we've got the shifter. We've got the mount for it. We are going to be running a gear grabber. It's not this specific one. I stole this one out of my Turbo S because I can't wait till 2 days from now when the other one that I have on its way comes. But that's going to get, this is a stock Razor shifter mount. It's going to go somewhere like that. Probably be back a little bit, somewhere in that area. It's hard to do with one hand, but ordered a 4-seat turbo seat bracket. That piece is one in that seat bracket kit, which it is right here. So we just cut it off with a grinder, fabbed it up. And what's important about that is obviously it's got this rod that runs through the middle of the shifter, and then the bracket that holds those jam nuts there. And then it's also slotted back here. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have done a shifter, you know. But rather than fabbing one, Power Sports Nation, local to me, I could buy that piece for $80, have it, cut off what I need, and move on, rather than spending a whole day trying to figure it out in my head how it needs to be and whatnot. So there's a good look at the Airbox. I did check, and I can get the filter out with its placement. This I'll probably just end up covering, or not covering, but some kind of filter or frog skin. But that's as high as we're going to be able to go as far as like a water level goes, to keep water out of the motor. But here's another look at the brackets for the radiator and intercooler. Oh yeah, also I added these bars. I think that gave it a real slick look. Let me run around to the other side. So yeah, you can see I added those bars. There is the thought of being able to pull an engine if we ever need to. Getting a cherry picker in here is gonna be hard. So I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do cage bung here and here so that this bar is removable so the engine can come out this way. Something like these. Just 2 Allens on each side that'll make that bar removable. I also added a roof bar there, but that bar will be removable so that you can get a cherry picker in there and pull the engine. Moving on here, radius rod plate is on. Radius rods are in for good. Did end up having to space that out. So yeah, did end up having to get some spacers. Those are just some nylon spacers to kind of push the radius rods away from this inner plate. Not sure how that's gonna affect any sort of alignment or what, but you can see there wasn't much for clearance, so we had to space them out somehow. So that's what we came up with. Spaced them out, got them away from that plate so they have plenty of clearance. trying to think what all else I've done since the last video. I mean, a lot's kind of gone down. It's hard to keep an idea of what all I've shown you already, because like I said, I've filmed all this stuff that just got done that I'm updating you on now. Yeah, I mean, the wiring's coming together. I think we have a home for every plug. All of them are accounted for. This harness was made for a chassis already, or modified, I guess I should say. So the fans were ran to the back, so that's nice. That plugged right in, and also the fuel pump or fuel pump was extended as well, so that's accounted for. I do have this exhaust on here for right now. It's just a straight pipe. It's gonna be louder than heck. Not sure 100% if that's what we're gonna run, but for right away, it is. Also, side note, once this firewall gets put in, because there's gonna be a firewall here running up to this bar to protect the engine bay, so to speak, from the cabin, it will get a little bracket built off here to help support this airbox as well. So that's not done yet. It's just waiting for the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty killer. We got some door bar ideas. I think we decided at the end of the day, this is gonna have a swing bar on the driver's side. So bunch of thinking, a bunch of talking with buddies, and I mean, it is a trail car, so convenience, being able to get in and out would be nice. It's not a full-blown just race car, designated hill bomb car, or whatever. It's gonna be a trail car. So we decided that we are gonna do some kind of a swing arm. So I'm thinking it's gonna have a tube from here down to this pocket here. It's gonna have a pivot point right in this area somewhere, and then a pin up here, and it'll swing out. Passenger side will be built similar, but without the pin and hinge. So that is right here. You can see, so this is your hinge, and then this is your pin. You'll just be able to pull this, and away you go. So hard to do one-handed, but yeah, I mean, if there's anything else that I forgot, you guys can point it out, but we're really starting to get somewhere. I got all the material for the fuel tank. Again, I don't know if I mentioned where we were thinking we were going to put the fuel tank. Originally, it was over the diff, sneak it into this area here. But now, after further consideration, I think the move is it's going to go right in here with the wiring in the shifter and be ran slightly up into here and have a fill spot right in there somewhere. That is not the fuel tank we're using. But I'm thinking that's it, just for ease of when these things are all in the trailer, filling them up, having all the gas fill spots on the same side makes things a little easier. But yeah, I mean, I'm really digging the way it's looking. We will get a little bit more done this weekend, I feel. You have to let me know, do you like the bigger updates, or do you like the step-by-step? It's totally up to you guys. I'll share with whatever you guys say you like better or more of. If you like the bigger updates, I'll wait. I'll get a couple weeks worth of stuff done and update you. Otherwise, we will do short videos every week. So yeah, sitting in here definitely feels pretty wild. Let me see if I can pan out far enough. Nope, can't pan out far enough, sorry about it. But it's got a nice feel. Steering wheel's just plenty away. It's got a nice heel to toe on the gas pedal, like I was saying. Same with the brake. There's this big wiring kit in front of it, so you have to just kind of imagine. But yeah, it feels wild. View, this bar is kind of in my face, but it's no different than an intrusion bar. So, but yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I will get this out as soon as I can, and then let me know in the comments whether I need to do weekly videos or bi-weekly videos, or if you like the bigger gap between. So thanks for watching. Let's get to 500.